Hello, welcome back to my channel. It has been a month since I last picked up the camera, and that was for the birth vlog. So Roman is 1 month and 3 days old, I believe, and so he'll be 5 weeks tomorrow. I cannot believe how fast he's growing. He is so big. So I wanted to do this video to give like a 1 month update, and he's sleeping right now, but I'll make sure to get some footage of him whenever he wakes up. But I wanted to do an update on him and also talk about some of the things that have gotten us through the first month. So to start with the update, like I said, he'll be 5 weeks old tomorrow. He was born 8 pounds 12 ounces, but he was 8 pounds 4 ounces when we left the hospital. And at his 2-week appointment, he was 9 pounds and I think like 6 ounces, so he had passed his birth weight. He has not had any trouble gaining weight. He loves to eat. He right now is eating like every 3 hours about 4 ounces, and sometimes at night he wants more than that. So he's a big boy. He's in the 98th percentile for height, which is not surprising since his dad is 6'4". And for weight, I don't remember exactly, but I want to say like the 80 something percentile. He is in size 1 diapers and wearing 0 to 3, but also just plain 3-month clothing he fits comfortably in. His eyes are still blue, and they're like a dark blue. I'm not gonna be surprised if they turn brown. I have brown eyes, Scott has blue eyes, but I feel like they're probably gonna turn brown. And his hair, it looked really dark when he's born, and some of the back of it still looks dark, but the front where he's like losing it a little bit, he has like a receding hairline, looks a little bit more like lighter, kind of my shade. So I'm not exactly sure what color his hair is going to be. We are still waiting on a smile from him. Sometimes he makes a face and smiles, but it's like at the wall. It's not at me or his dad yet. So we're waiting on that. Those are basically all of his updates. He's not really doing too much. He eats and he sleeps and he poops and he plays. So that's about it so far. But I also, like I said, wanted to talk about some of the things that have really helped us this first month. So some of it is products that I'm really happy that we got, and some of it is just information that I wish I would have known before that probably would have saved me some tears and stress. So the first thing is like a little trick or tip that I think I read somewhere or heard somewhere. If your child startles whenever you put them like in the crib or bassinet, you say you've been holding them for a little while and then you try to put them down in there for them to go to sleep and they wake up. Something that we've tried and had success with is putting a heating pad while you're holding them in your arms. You put a heating pad in the crib or bassinet, and so then you take, 10 minutes, however long, to get the child to sleep, and then move the heating pad right before you put the baby in. So it's still pretty warm, because I think sometimes the coldness, when we put them down in there, they've been so warm in our arms, and then we put them down and it's freezing cold on their sheets, that it can startle them. So we did that for about the first 3 weeks. Now we have stopped doing it, and it doesn't seem to wake him up anymore when we just place him in the bassinet. But if you're really, really having a hard time, I think that's something to try. Like I said, you can do a heating pad, or if you have like a hot rice pack, anything like that, just make sure to take the heat source out before you actually put the baby in, but it makes it nice and warm for him. Another thing that was really helpful, this was for pregnancy too, but also when we have a baby sleeping in our room, is a bathroom light or like a night light. We have a bathroom attached to our bedroom, and so if we have to get up in the middle of the night and he's still asleep, it's nice to just have a little night light in there, so we don't have to turn the big bright light on and risk like waking him up, because his bassinet is kind of right beside the bathroom, so it might wake him up. But that was also really helpful during pregnancy when I was getting up like 3 times a night to go pee, instead of going in there 3 times and turning on the big light and like waking myself up more. I could kind of do it like while I was still drowsy and just like close my eyes and walk to the bathroom and just have that little dim light instead of the super harsh bathroom light. So I have like a dollar one from the dollar store. So any kind of night light I think is really nice, especially when you have a baby in the room too, because you don't want to be turning on all the big bright lights at nighttime. You want to keep it really nice and calm and dark so that they don't think that it's daylight and time to wake up. Another thing that we did that saved us a little bit of money is we didn't buy a bunch of bottles. We were gifted some Dr. Brown's bottles, but the only bottles I think that we've actually purchased are from Walmart, and they're like 97 cents a piece or something. So I thought it was a good idea to try and start, if you're going to use bottles, with the cheaper ones. And obviously if there's any kind of like reflux or you're having a lot of spitting up or something, you can try a more expensive bottle. But I wanted to start with the cheaper one, and Roman doesn't seem to have any issues with the cheaper bottles, so it just saves us some money if he's willing to take a 97-cent bottle over like a $7 bottle. I think it's worth a try. And speaking of saving money, we supplemented with formula basically from the beginning with Roman, and now we're like transitioning to him being fully formula fed. So the hospital started us on Similac Pro Advance, and that is what we've continued to use. But when I started researching it, the Costco brand Kirkland, the Kirkland formula, has the same ingredients as the Similac Pro Advance. I think that there was like 1 or 2 differences in the amount of something, but Scott and I both looked at it and we felt comfortable introducing the Kirkland brand because it is so much cheaper than the Similac, and it's essentially the same formula. So right now we have a big Kirkland one, and it's like, I want to say like 44 ounces of formula for $19.99 at my Costco when I bought it. And the Similac is like 20 something ounces for $30 something. So it's like you get double the product for half the price. So for us, it was a no-brainer. So we've been slowly introducing it to Roman. We do, like, if he gets 4 ounces of something, it's 1 scoop of Similac and 1 scoop of Kirkland. And we're basically just doing that until we run out of Similac, and then we'll just transition to fully using the Kirkland. But that was one of the reasons why I really wanted to breastfeed, was to save money, not buying such expensive formula. But since we ended up using formula, it is really nice and does save us some money using the Kirkland one. And you get a bigger bulk, so you don't have to go to the store as many times. The next 2 things are items that I am so happy that we purchased. One is right up here. It is a silicone changing mat. So I liked it because I like the way that it looks, and it makes sense to me that it's like more sanitary if you can just wipe it down. But I'm so glad we got a silicone one because Roman pees and poops on it all the time. I don't know if we just aren't fast at diaper changes, but he has had some blowouts, and we've tried the Huggies and Pampers and Hello Bello, and it doesn't really matter what the diaper brand is, he will still find a way to blow out of it, which might be like user error. We might not be, you know, putting it on as tight as we should, but whatever the issue is, when we put him on here, we have had to wipe this thing down at least like twice a week with cleaner and Clorox. He will pee and poop on it or spit up on it, whatever it is. So if we had like one of the cloth ones where you put like fabric over it, we would be cleaning that probably every other day. So since he just pees and poops on everything, I am so happy that we got the silicone changing mat because it is so easy and more sanitary, in my opinion, to clean. And I know that I can just Clorox it and, you know, get all the bacteria and everything off of it, and I don't have to worry about like staining the pad underneath or anything like that. And the other thing that I'm so happy we have is the Hatch sound machine. It doesn't have to be the Hatch, but that's just the one we have. But any kind of sound machine, babies while they're in your belly get so used to hearing like the loud sound of your blood and your digestion and you talking and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty loud in there, supposedly, in the womb. And so some babies have a hard time sleeping when it's totally silent. So we have the sound machine. We keep it kind of between where his bassinet is and the door to block any kind of noise if we're outside the door or like in the hallway or anything, to block the sound. And we keep it pretty loud. It's recommended, from what I've heard, to make the sound machine about as loud as like if you were in the shower, the running water, how like if you were in the shower and somebody was trying to talk to you, they'd have to speak up pretty loud for you to actually hear what they were saying. So that's kind of the volume that you want the sound machine at, so that we have it to where like with the baby monitor, we can still hear if he's crying over the sound machine. But you know, if we're walking by or like if the dog barks or something, it doesn't startle him awake because he has that white noise that's constantly going. I've been sleeping with white noise for years, but I just had an app on my phone, but it didn't really get loud enough for him. So I knew that we wanted to have a sound machine for him, and I love it. Scott and I actually sleep really, really well with this loud sound machine in our room. Even so, like, we're even considering getting, they have like a Hatch for adults for our room when Roman comes into his room, because we just like that sound of white noise, that variety that they have. And the last thing that I was going to talk about that has really gotten us through this first month is a schedule. And some people will swear that, you know, a baby can't have a schedule for 3 months or 6 months or however long, but we have implemented a schedule with him since he was like a week and a half old. For the first like week and a half, we were having really rough nights, and turns out what I think was the issue was I was letting him sleep as long as he wanted to during the day. And so if he wanted to take a 4-hour nap during the day, I was just gonna let him do it, and then when he woke up, I'd feed him, whatever. But what I have since found out is most of the time, babies will give you 1, maybe 2 long stretches of sleep in like a 24-hour period. So the idea is that you want that long stretch of sleep to be at nighttime to line up with your sleep. So what we've done is wake him up every 3 hours. So right now, he wakes up at 7 a.m. to feed, 10 a.m., 1, 4, 7, and 10 at night. So at those times, even if he just fell asleep, we wake him up and offer him a bottle. The idea is to get a majority of his calories that he needs for him to consume them during the day when me and Scott are awake, and so then he can go a longer stretch of sleep at night. Even if it's like 3:30 in the afternoon and he just fell asleep, I'm still gonna wake him up at 4 and offer him a bottle. Even if he just takes like an ounce or 2, in my mind that's like an ounce or 2 that he's not gonna need tonight, because our pediatrician said babies know how many calories that they need in a 24-hour period, and you want to give the baby as much as they will take during the day so that they can sleep a long stretch at night. So like last night, he went to bed about 10 and then woke up at 2:30 to eat. He ate 4 ounces, and then I put him back down, and I woke him up at 7. So he gave us like 2 4-hour stretches for us to sleep. So it has been fantastic. It's not like that every single night. Sometimes he screams and doesn't want to go back to sleep or doesn't want to eat, but having a schedule has really, but I'm the type of person that likes a schedule anyways, and for the first week and a half I felt so flustered and overwhelmed because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know when he was going to eat. I didn't know when he was going to wake up, and I still don't always know that. Sometimes he surprises me and won't eat or won't go to sleep, but at least I have a guideline, and that helped me not feel so overwhelmed and stressed. You can Google like different schedules for different age babies and find one that works for you, but this one has really been working for us. And the big key points are to make sure you wake him up at the same time every day. And that started at 6:30, but it's kind of moved till 7. Like I wake up at 6:30 and wake him up at 7, and that's what's working for us right now. But wake him up at 7 every day, and make sure during the day that every 3 hours he's offered food. So far for the first month, those are my best tips and tricks. Really, the schedule is what changed our lives the most. The sound machine is so important, and the silicone changing mat are my top tips and tricks because they have been lifesavers. Somebody has woken up from their nap and wanted to be included in the video. Here is Mr. Roman at almost 5 weeks old. You can see he has very big cheeks and multiple little chins. Say hi. Oh, a big old baby. But that is gonna wrap up today's video. Thank you for watching. I don't know exactly what videos I'll do next. If you have any recommendations or anything that you want to see or know, leave it down in the comments, and I'll be happy to do whatever video you want or answer any kind of questions you have. But thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.